readers, welcome to Book Chat. My name is Leslie and I'm the Reading Safari and Stream Coordinator for Monterey County Free Libraries. Today's book is a Southern Gothic classic called As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. This book was originally published in 1930 and it's 261 pages long. So a little bit of background. I first read this book when I was 15. I was a sophomore in high school. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was the first time I'd ever read a book with multiple points of view. And I did not understand it at all. And that is because, one, the multiple points of view, but two, there's also a lot of stream of consciousness in this book. And so that for me was totally new ground. I didn't understand it at all. Thankfully, I had a really great English teacher who did her best to help the class grasp what the story was about. But I will confess that the best thing that I did was put it away, the book away, and reread it again when I was in my early 20s. And at that point, I had a lot more experience reading different types of literature. And just, of course, I was more mature as well. So I found it to be a lot more enjoyable. And I've read it probably about 5 more times since then. And it's a book that never gets old. And the reason why is because it's so funny. It is so funny. And I'm going to get into that a little later. But one of the other reasons why it doesn't get old is because it's told, like I said before, from multiple points of view. There are 15 characters who narrate this novel in 59 different chapters. And most of them are Addie Bundren, who is kind of the central character around which everything is happening. She is the mother and the wife who is ill and who is dying. And then at the beginning of the book, she does die. And the resulting story is her family, like her husband and her children, most of whom are, I believe they're in their teens to in their 20s. So, they're not super, super tiny kids. They are trying to honor their mother's dying wish of being buried with her family in her hometown of Jefferson, Mississippi. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. Anyway, so it sounds like, kind of heavy, right? Like, oh, mother dies and blah, blah, blah. Well, it is and it isn't. And that is because, like I said before, it's so funny. And it's darkly funny. It's not slapstick. It's dark comedy. So let me give you some examples. Each character has their own motivation for wanting to go to Jefferson. So it's not just getting Addie to be with her family, which was her dying wish. Her husband, Ance, wants a new set of teeth, okay? And he talks about his teeth through the whole novel. Her daughter, Addie's daughter, Dewey Dell, is a teenager who is pregnant and she wants to get an abortion. And that is why she wants to go to Jefferson. So they all have this other motivation and they're all more concerned with getting what they want than with getting Addie where she wants to go or where she wanted to go. So they're very, they're very human and very funny. And then there's also a lot of mishaps that happen along the way because they have to cross a river. They have to take a horse and buggy. So, of course, it's not like taking a car or a train like today. They're actually taking the horse and buggy across a river. And at one point they do that and they lose the coffin that they've made. And so they lose the body of their mother for a time. She becomes completely submerged in the river. And as they continue along their way, because, she hasn't been embalmed or anything. So as they retrieve her from the river and they go on their way, they are basically accompanied by the smell of her rotting body. You know, her decaying flesh is following them constantly because, you know, they lost her in the river, which is so funny and so sad, you know, but darkly, darkly funny. And then, you know, there's the teenager, no, I believe he's in his 20s, Cash, who is the person who built the coffin. So when he closed up the coffin, and, you know, was drilling it shut, they drilled right into Addie's face. So that is really sad and funny. And then another example is Cash breaks his leg and his family decides to set it with concrete. Okay. So it's just so funny because, you know, normally you think, oh man, you know, a family going to bury their, you know, the matriarch of the family and blah, blah, blah. Oh, how sad, you know. It's sad, but so hilarious. So I could go on and on about this book. I mean, and to be honest, it's a book worthy of discussing in a literature class like I did in high school and college, because there's so much in here, way too much to cover for one short video. But I highly recommend this one. We've got multiple copies in our collection. You should totally check it out. I'm not going to read an excerpt this time because it was just too challenging to find one that would actually make sense, considering the stream of consciousness nature of this novel. So you should check it out for yourself. Stick with it. It's highly enjoyable, so funny. And thank you so much for joining me this week for Book Chat. And I will see you next time. Keep reading. Bye.